I got to go ahead and give you guys a bit of a heads up before we get started on this, Mary. Number one, this video right here was not planned, so therefore it's probably going to come off as a bit of a ramble and a bit of a rant, but please bear with me as we go through this and I try to explain to everybody in the world why it is that celebrity endorsements really and truly don't matter. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Fox News in relation to this campaign. I just wonder what your reaction is to seeing that.
Yeah, I think I've always said I don't want my place and my platform to be used to endorse a candidate or do whatever. Either way, I think my place is to inform people to get registered to vote. It's to inform people to do their own research and then make their best decision for them and their family. And so I think that's every time I'm on this stage.
So what you guys are seeing here in the B-roll footage is Patrick Mahomes essentially saying that, yeah, I'm not going to endorse anybody for president. And of course, a lot of this has got to do with the fact that his wife recently got into it. I even did a video on that, which will probably be at the very end of this video and the end cards for you guys to click on. Basically, what happened is that she hit the like button on a post from Donald Trump. And of course, Patrick Mahomes is out here getting grilled by the Kansas City media, basically saying, you know what, I'm basically not going to endorse anybody for president. I'm on a football team. We all work together. We all have different opinions. Basically, the normal good stuff that you would normally hear at a sane, rational people, especially given what we've lost in this nation at this moment in time and given the fact that it's an election year. Okay, but then you get what you're also seeing here in the B-roll footage that I'm playing for you guys now, which of course is Usher. Now, why am I talking about Usher? Why am I talking about Patrick Mahomes? The reason why is because I don't think celebrity endorsements mean a whole lot, especially given the fact that there's this great big giant hoopla over Taylor Swift now coming out and endorsing Kamala Harris. Now, guys, this video is not going to be that long, so make sure you guys stick around. And also something else, too, make sure you guys also cut the notifications on so that way you guys are notified when the videos come out. And please go ahead and hit the like button if you guys can for the algorithm. Now, Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala Harris. That's not something that, quite frankly, we didn't expect. We obviously thought this was going to happen. And by the way, I did mention Usher earlier. It's rumored that he's already came out and endorsed her, but still at the same time, during this little bit that you guys saw in the B-roll footage, which I'll play for you guys here in a second, the crew at The View decided they wanted to grill him or try to basically lean into the whole notion of you need to go ahead and make an endorsement or who you're going to vote for, or did you watch the debate? The normal type of stuff that you would normally press on people to see exactly where they're at politically. Let me play this for you guys.
This emergency that we're in, I think that behooves artists to come out and speak for Kamala against Donald Trump because he is an existential threat to the country. What do you say to that?
You know what? I don't get too deep into politics. I didn't get a chance to watch the debate last night. I obviously have been watching like everybody else. I think voting is an individual choice. And I think that you're right. You have to look at the reality of the country that we are and the country that we want to be. And find the candidate that you feel both are who fits the category of where we want to be. And that's it. And that's what you vote based off of. Who you highlight and how you choose to highlight it on whatever platform you have is your prerogative.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to sit here and beat up on Usher if he does decide to vote for Kamala Harris or endorse her because it's quite frankly expected. But the thing is this right here. The thing about celebrities is that nowadays they've kind of gotten it in where they can actually preach or where they decide they want to preach on it and they should tell you how it is that you should feel. But the thing is this right here, a lot of times people aren't exactly feeling exactly what it is that celebrities are saying. I mean, recently Caitlin Clark, there was a video released on her because apparently she hit the like button on the same post that Taylor Swift posted, which by the way, I've got playing here in the B-roll footage for you guys. Apparently, they asked her basically the same exact question, and she basically chose to go the Usher route.
Caitlin, you liked an Instagram post last night from Taylor Swift that got a lot of attention. And I'm just curious if you could tell us what that post meant to you, and if you are, in fact, potentially going to endorse Kamala Harris. Thank you.
I think for myself is, I have this amazing platform, so I think the biggest thing would be just to encourage people to register to vote. I think for myself, this is the second time I can vote in an election. At age 22, I could vote when I was 18, so I think do that. That's the biggest thing I can do with the platform that I have, and that's the same thing Taylor did. And I think continue to educate yourself with the candidates that
To
we
me,
have.
like Caitlin Clark doesn't want to make an endorsement, even though she obviously hit the like button on the Instagram post, which, by the way, that same said Instagram post, the comments were cut off. And then to go on top of this, people love to talk about why it is that this endorsement is so important, when I'm here to tell you guys right now, it's nowhere near as important as you might would think. Now, this video right here, for the most part, it's not really so much about Taylor Swift or anything like that, because obviously I don't really care for Taylor Swift. Even though Travis Kelce chose, from what you guys can see here, to respond to a post that Elon Musk made. And let's just say that Travis ain't exactly feeling guys talking about his girlfriend or making little jokes, even though there was also this little bit that came out recently that suggests that that little marriage or that little relationship may be ginned up for the press and the press alone. Something people to look at. Lawyers, stuff like that there. You know, the same type of normal celebrity crap they throw in your face every year, all the time, to try to get you interested, when in reality, most people really and truly don't care about what celebrities have to say. Case in point, this lady here, and of course, there's also this other woman here who decided to do a video where she wanted to burn anything and everything Taylor Swift related that she owned, because apparently she's a Trump voter. But I think this woman right here said it best.
Real quick, if you're a celebrity, shut up. If you're a celebrity, shut up. Shut up. Don't tell us what to do. Don't tell us. Don't talk to us like you know what it's like. Don't tell us that we should be voting for this person or talking about this. Stop talking. Stop talking. Because you have no idea. You don't know. You don't know what it's like. There are people out there right now, and it shouldn't be political. Feeding your family should not be political. Having to choose between paying rent or groceries that week, and rent is delayed, it should not be political. That should literally just be, life. But as a celebrity, stop
Don't pay
talking.
our bills. You really, to tell you the truth, don't do anything for us except provide entertainment, which is what I've always said you should do when it comes to celebrities. View them as your source of entertainment and your source of entertainment alone. These people don't live in the same world you do. They don't pay your bills. They don't put food on your table. So why in the hell should you take these people seriously? Well, it's because young people, for some odd reason, think that whatever some celebrity says could in fact be important. But then again, though, given the fact that I'm an older guy who's been to college twice and also been to one of those being a university, I don't think the celebrity endorsement even holds much weight there, because people are a little bit too busy dealing with their daily, everyday lives, or dealing with bills, dealing with all the drama that's going on. How am I going to make this paycheck stretch? How am I going to pay for gas? How am I going to get food or not? I think people are worried a little bit more about that there than they are the endorsement of some celebrity, especially a celebrity like Taylor Swift, who, by the way, most of her fan base is underage and not even eligible to vote. But as I said, these endorsements typically tend not to matter anything at all. They typically don't amount to a hill of beans. But why in the world would people even bring this up? Like, why in the world would people even think that Taylor Swift's endorsement might change things? Well, here's the reason why.
Just 7 points. Look, Kamala Harris is doing somewhat better than that at this point, up by 15 over Donald Trump, but still really lagging where Joe Biden was back in 2020. So Kamala Harris would love extra support from young voters. Maybe Taylor Swift can deliver a few of those.
The Democratic Party nominee is behind. She's behind Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden both. Behind their numbers. Now, this video right here, for the most part, is about why it is that celebrity endorsements don't really and truly matter. But this same video is also not only about that, it's also about how it is that someone like a Taylor Swift does not live in your world. And why it is that the endorsement doesn't exactly matter the way you think it might would matter. I think I've already said that 3 or 4 times, though it's quite frankly a little bit repetitive. But still, though, at the same time, though, people think this is a big deal when in reality it's really and truly not. Now, some people have said, don't piss off the Swifters, don't piss off the Swifties. And my response to that is, just don't engage. Just don't engage with the Swifties. The vast majority of women who know they're going to vote a certain way already know they're going to vote a certain way, whether it be Republican or Democrat, whether it be for Trump or Harris or whoever. They're going to vote exactly how they feel. And I've also said that when you actually look at the top issues of this election cycle, abortion, the one issue they try to get women on, is a lot further down the list than, I don't know, maybe the economy, national security, immigration, that type of stuff there. Yeah, those things right there tend to be a little bit more important, and people obviously remember what it was like under the previous 4 years or the 4 years that Donald Trump was president. They remember the price, everything being a little bit lower. They remember the economy being in much, much better shape. And they also remember something else that was very, very important: no new wars. But as you guys can obviously see, this particular Democratic Party nominee is running behind the two previous ones, which is the situation, quite frankly, becomes desperate for them. Now, there is a couple more things that need to be said before we get through this video. And of course, it's also the overall voter registration numbers. Now, let me play this right for you guys, and then let me give you guys a little bit more explanation on the other end of why it is that this voter registration data is causing Democrats to absolutely panic.
Pennsylvania and North Carolina, all right? And what we're going to do here is look at the Democratic advantage over Republicans in voter registration. This is party registration, registering as a Democrat, a Republican, or unaffiliated. Look, if you go back to September of 2020, look, among active voters in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you saw Democrats with, look at that, a 559,000 voter edge over Republicans. You jump now, look, Democrats still have an edge, but look how much that's dropped. It's now just 169,000. We're talking about the Republicans closing the gap by nearly 400,000 voters in just a 4-year time span. You go to North Carolina, it's the same exact trend, right? You go back to September of 2020, you see Democrats with a 415,000 voter edge, and now they still hold an edge, but it's just 128,000. And of course, both of these states were determined by less than 100,000 voters.
They're about 200 some odd thousand votes behind the registration numbers that they need, and they've got people leaving the party, re-registering as Republican. It's not just the state of Pennsylvania, it's Arizona, it's Wisconsin, it's all the battleground states, it's even my home state of North Carolina. These people are absolutely 100% desperate, so they're looking for whatever spark or whatever boost they can get. Right here, you guys are seeing the August numbers for registrations, voter registrations. You guys obviously saw how it was that Democrats are roughly right around 300,000 less registrations to vote. They have about 300,000 less registered Democrats in the state of Pennsylvania. They're also falling behind in Nevada. They're falling behind in Arizona. Republicans are actually on pace to actually outvote Democrats for the first time in the state of Nevada and the state of Arizona. And it looks to me like while they might not actually outvote Democrats in the state of Pennsylvania, they don't really and truly need to as far as registrations are concerned, but they've obviously narrowed the gap. Now, I can already hear somebody saying ancestral Democrats re-registering as Republican, and that right there could, in fact, be true. But still, though, at the same time, until you actually physically walk up to somebody and actually ask them, you will not know whether that is true or not, or whether that's actually the case. But, of course, leave it to CNN to tell us that now, all of a sudden, Vote.gov got a lot of people to show up because of Taylor Swift, and, of course, now they've got more and more people at least clicking onto the website.
So yeah, Kamala Harris would definitely welcome the idea if Taylor Swift could bring in some more younger voters, Democratic-leaning voters in the electorate, because the bottom line is Republicans have been doing a heck of a lot better job of registering voters than Democrats have over the last 4 years.
I mean, this seems like a warning sign. You know, in the results of it, we have to wait and see, right?
Yes.
I mean, registration doesn't equal votes, but it's something of an indicator.
It's an indicator.
Speaking of indicators, what is the Swift effect?
Yeah, what is the Swift effect? So, look, what do we know? Visitors to vote.gov due to Taylor Swift, who clicked on that link on her Instagram post. As of 2 p.m. yesterday, look how many folks clicked on that link. It was 338,000 folks. Now, not all those folks, obviously, are going to register to vote. But the bottom line is this is a ton of folks who could be entering the electorate.
A lot of people. However, it's also the same amount of people tracking, or not too much higher than what it was the night before that. Look, man, people are registering to vote all the time. People are constantly logging in. People are constantly asking questions. People are constantly going to the website. People are constantly trying to get information on that. And by the way, that same government website's not a government website where you actually register to vote. What it is a website that's designed to tell you, or at least what it does, is it redirects you to your area. You type in your area code, and they tell you exactly where to go. You type in your address, and they tell you exactly where to go to register, because registering to vote is a state, local thing, not a federal government thing. The same thing happens at NFL stadiums, because obviously the NFL has decided to do the whole My Vote Matters thing, which I think is a bunch of BS, because sports, quite frankly, should be apolitical. But once again, here we are having this conversation about celebrities and celebrity endorsements. I think 99.9% of the American people already know that the Democratic Party, or whoever the Democratic Party nominee is, they're going to get Jay-Z, they're going to get Beyonce, they're going to get Taylor Swift, they're going to get all these celebrities, Bruce Springsteen, all these liberals, to come out and endorse them every single presidential cycle. It just so happens to be with the advent of social media that people can actually respond. Go back to that Taylor Swift thing I put up, that IG post. She had to cut the comments off. Why'd she cut the comments off? Probably because there was a lot of nasty comments there. By the way, those comments actually feed the algorithm, is actually what sends your video through the roof. I'm just simply saying the same thing also applies to Instagram posts and also applies to Facebook posts as well. Obviously, she cut the comments off for a reason, so it doesn't seem to me like this right here is actually helping anywhere that you would think that it would. And there is also the strong possibility that maybe your Swiffers or your Swifties could in fact be Trump voters like this one here.
Jeffries, a law student and mother in Arizona, is a huge Taylor Swift fan and also a fan of Donald Trump. She says the issues she most cares about, abortion, immigration, and the economy, align with Trump.
I'm voting Trump because we need to secure our borders, also economically. I mean, the last 4 years have been insanely hard on everybody, and it's not getting cheaper.
Not everybody in the world who listens to Taylor Swift, who is of age, is voting for Kamala Harris. I understand it's only one voter, but still at the same time, though, you also saw a woman basically tell anybody and everybody that wasn't paying her bills to shut the hell up. You obviously saw another girl outside burning her Taylor Swift stuff, which I have no idea why she did that, because I don't agree with someone like, say, Bruce Springsteen or an artist that, quite frankly, I listen to. I mean, Elton John, even, one of the classics. He's not a Trump voter. He's not a Trump supporter. He got pressed with this very, very same issue the other day, and I think it was a Variety or it was a Vanity Fair. But I may link the video in the description box where he actually praised Trump's use of the word rocket man to describe Kim Jong-un, the dictator of North Korea. The fact of the matter is, I think that we can actually listen to people and not still do exactly what it is that they do. And what I mean by listen to people is I think we can still listen to musicians, like their music, and not vote the same way. I think that we can do that. But then again, at the same time, though, there are those out there who believe that this right could cause irreparable damage to some people out there. That right there being mostly young girls. Steven Crowder actually did a very good bit on this in this episode earlier today that I'm going to go ahead and kind of share some of this right here with you guys, because I think he actually hit the nail on the head in a good amount of these to kind of let you guys know that this right here is not a person who has these young girls' hearts and minds and how their actual decisions. She don't exactly have that in mind when she makes an endorsement for Kamala Harris. But still, though, we need to respond to it. We need to see exactly what the hell is going on here.
Made her endorsement in an Instagram post. She said, "I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz." Surprise! I am voting for Kamala Harris because she fights for the rights and causes I believe need a warrior to champion them. I think she's steady-handed and a gifted leader, and I believe we can accomplish so much more in this country if we are led by calm and not chaos. I was heartened, here's the kicker, and impressed by her selection of running mate Tim Walz, who has been standing for LGBTQ plus rights, IVF, and a woman's right to her own body for decades. With love and hope, Taylor Swift, childless cat lady. Okay, so Taylor will...
Let me say this really quick. Proud cat lady. Proud cat lady. This is obviously in response to J.D. Vance's comments about cat ladies running the country, which of course he's not lying, he's telling the truth, but cat lady. Yeah, John Doyle actually did a pretty good video on this the other day. He said it was actually theater kids that were running the country, but still though at the same time though. Proud cat lady. Does every single woman out there, every woman, do they want to not have kids? Do they not want to fall in love at some point in time? Look, Taylor Swift's like 34 or 35 years old. She's actually beginning to get up there in age, and contrary to popular belief, men can start a family at any point in time, but women cannot. But she's like 34, 35 years old. I mean, what? You don't plan on starting a family? Well, that's right. That's correct. Travis Kelce. That's right. Travis Kelce. It looks to me like that right there has been manufactured. But let us continue.
Think about that for a second. Childless cat lady.
Yeah.
War. Right? War. This is a key issue. This is what J.D. Vance was saying, that, hey, you are not affected.
Yeah.
You don't have the same investment in the future if you have no children. And that is true. That is true. And this is, by the way, something that a lot of women take for granted. Men go to war often for you. Wars are pretty much fought over land and snatch. That's what it is. That's why it's not right. That's why they took concubines back in the day. Men will go and fight wars for women. That's what, and it's just, and it's honestly, it's dumb. It's kind of dumbfounding to me when you look back throughout history and look at the pictures of the women, like the women back then, as far as how attractive they were. These people were dying for that?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Look, let me say this really quick. Taylor Swift is like a billionaire. She's got billions of dollars. And look, like I said, I'm not here to crap on her. I'm not at all. Patrick Mahomes, the guy you guys saw at the very beginning, quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's got like 3 Super Bowl rings. I think he's got like 2 MVP awards. The guy's got the family that he wants, at least at this moment in time. I mean, God knows what may or may not happen. But of course, I think him and Brittany Mahomes have been together and I've got my issues with her, but they've been together for an extremely long time. I think they were high school sweethearts. And then to go on top of that, I mean, he's got like $200 or $300 million in his bank account. I mean, Caitlin Clark is going to have a lot of money. Look. Nobody's knocking these people for earning the cash. Obviously, they've got the talent. However, when you have a certain amount of money in your pocket and you have a certain amount of clout and you live in a certain bubble or you live in a certain space, you kind of lose the right to lecture everyday, ordinary people. Now, granted, it was a post simply saying that she wants people to get informed, even though it kind of came off a little bit negative at the very end. But still, at the same time, though, the point is this here. These celebrities, they're not paying your bills. Not only are they not paying your bills, but they're not living the same world that you're living in. Stephen actually makes a point here in a second that they don't have to worry about their kids going to war. They have to worry about their kids growing up hard. They ain't got to worry about that. They have to worry about the same day-to-day struggle that you and I have to deal with every day, which is another reason why it is that for the most part, celebrity endorsements don't really make a hill of beans. They don't really make a clap at all. They really and truly are meaningless. But still, though, the mainstream media loves to pump it up like they are meaningful.
Let's cat lady. Okay. It's funny, and I get that some people are offended, but you know what? There's a point there that's important to be made. So let's go through a few key facts here, and this is why this matters, and hopefully we'll offer some advice that is a little more productive. All the references are available as far as the studies, the data that we will be presenting today. Link in the description. Here's a key fact to start this off. Taylor Swift, and this is not just, it's not to say that celebrities are not entitled to opinions. Of course they are. And it's not to say that some celebrities are not educated. Some of them are. And some of them are actually informed. And some of them, by the way, are even informed, and I still disagree with them, but I accept those key facts. Taylor Swift is none of those things. And you add on top of that, she's worth enough money to not care about any, or to not be affected by any of the consequences of a Kamala Walls presidency, vice.
Inflation, overseas conflict, stuff like that's never going to affect them. Okay, it affects you, but it's not going to affect them. It's another reason why it is that I personally feel that anytime a celebrity runs their mouth, it's just something to just simply be ignored. They're not in the hole with you. They're not working the line with you. So what the hell does their opinion matter? But speaking about earlier about her being a childless cat lady, it seems to me that if you look at her past, she kind of chooses to be one.
Choice. I believe this woman has a compulsion. She will only date exclusively current A-list actors. The reason she is single is not because, love has evaded her. No, it's because, again, she is the caution of chasing the wrong thing. Fame, material goods, right? Instead of meaningful relationships. And you know this is true. And this advice doesn't apply to Americans across the board. How do you think that a 34-year-old American, Taylor Swift's age out there right now, is going to do better, if she basically is living out her equivalent of Taylor Swift? They won't be A-list stars, but simply trying to bag the hottest guy in the bar at night for social clout, or finding a man who loves her, settling, having children who are thrilled to see her come home or stay at home. The statistics reflect one reality. So a lot of people go, I can be Taylor Swift, but you're not a billionaire who gets to date exclusively. Let me go through the list. Taylor Lautner, John Mayer, Jake Gyllenhaal, Tom Hiddleston, Joe Jonas, Harry Styles, RFK Jr.'s son, Connor Kennedy.
What?
Which was kind of surprising.
That's like the only non-A-list celebrity there.
Well, she needed him for backup on her album.
Let me ask you a serious question, and I know that I'm going to get in trouble for this, but quite frankly, I don't care. Does Taylor Swift really and truly look like a 9 or a 10? Is she like an 8? This woman is an office 6 or 7 at best. She is mid. But yet you expect me to believe that she demands... I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, Travis Kelce is kind of a downgrade compared to the other guys that Steven Crowder mentioned when you look at overall money, fame, status, and what they can and can't do. I'm just simply saying that Taylor Swift is not really and truly a serious person, and quite frankly, you probably should just view her as what the hell she is. A musical recording artist and musician. That is really and truly what she is, just a performer. Since when do sane, rational people take the words of an actor or a performer serious? Now, guys, this video right here has gone on a little bit longer than I wanted it to go on, but this right here is what I'm going to end on. Social media, for the most part, really hurt Hollywood and celebrities because you see now people can see these people off script and how they really and truly feel. I don't think this is going to bother Taylor Swift at all. I think she'll continue to make money. She'll continue to make money off those 16, 17-year-old girls, which, by the way, they have a right to go to the concerts and whatnot, because that right there is about 90% of the people that she reaches. Of course, the woman does do a lot of videos about her crappy choices in men, and then she turned right back around and voted for Biden, making bad decisions altogether, and voted for Kamala Harris. But still at the same time, she's entitled to her opinion. But still at the same time, to go on top of that there, I know I'm saying at the same time a lot, I don't see how the hell it is that her opinion influences anybody else, and I don't see how the hell it could. And also to go on top of that, it really and truly shouldn't, because she's not you and you're not her. She's not in the same situation that you're in. She's not paying your bills, so therefore her opinion is quite frankly useless. As you guys obviously saw earlier, the real reason why it is they're so desperate for this, or they're so desperate for it at the end, is because they weren't doing very good when it come to voter registration, and that right there tells me that all the polls, once again, are off. But you guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section. I understand this was a bit of a rant, a bit of a ramble, but you guys please tell me what you think. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign off in the comment section. Once again, there'll be 2 videos out, including this right here on Friday, and we're going to try to have 2 videos out this weekend. So make sure you guys stick around for both, and I'll see you guys later.